What's going on, and welcome back to the channel. I know fantasy sports. It's your boy Walt, and I am here today to talk about fantasy football and what's to expect in week 10. Wow, it's week 10 already, and we still have 7 more regular season games to go after week 10. Man, and can you love football like I can? I mean, we got 17 weeks of football, fantasy football, and some of you guys are going to be, your teams are going to be going into week 14 or 15 into the playoff rounds. I'm excited still. I'm still excited, although the season's almost coming towards it, close to an end. Excuse me, I'm tired today. Um, some of you guys may relate, but I had a late night last night, of course, because of the election going on, and I'm super tired today. Hey, I'm here. I'm here. So you guys bear with me. I didn't even go to my little Patriots side over here with my desk because I was just so tired. I was just said, I'm gonna just go ahead and make this video, try to do it quick and short and nice and easy because I'm tired and I didn't really want to do anything else. But anyways, we have 4 teams on bye this week coming up. It's not really much that you're going to be missing besides, some of the decent players from the Packers, Kenneth Walker from the Seahawks, maybe Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers for the Raiders. And then I guess Cedric Tillman is somebody to look into because he's been doing, he's had some pretty decent games. But if it wasn't for that bomb shot that he received to get a touchdown, then, he really wouldn't put up much numbers. Can you believe that Christian McCaffrey's coming back? How much play is he going to get? Is his Achilles going to be, what kind of play is he going to get? Because he's coming back, and I know a lot of you guys are excited. I'm excited too because I do have him in one of my teams, but you have to be very careful because anything can happen to where he doesn't play a full game. Also, we don't know how much the ramp up is going to be when it comes to him getting in there, how many reps he's getting in the game, because he's an all around player. He can catch the ball out of the backfield and he can run the ball. So we don't know how much play he's going to get this week. So be very cautious. Pay attention to the injury reports. Pay attention to whenever the lineups take place, because you don't want to put him in the lineup if he's not even going to play. But I am excited for him to come back, and I hope that he can, continue to ramp up throughout the remainder of the season, going into you guys' playoffs, because you never know with Christian McCaffrey, and that's something that I talked about at the beginning of the season, is that I really believe that he wasn't the number one running back. Yes, I did pick him up, but I only picked him up because I had the first round draft pick, and I wanted to pick up a running back that I thought was going to be worthwhile. And of course, I picked him up, and I should have picked up Henry instead. Anyways, let's talk about it for week 10. Derrick Henry, this guy is on pace for having 2,000 rushing yards at 30 years old. Man child, straight up man child. I think he can do it, but you don't know. There can be a time where he might have to, the Ravens could be in a huge lead to where they don't want to run him as much, or they can be down pretty big to where they have to play the passing game throughout the rest of the game. So we don't really know. They do have the Bengals coming up this week, so that should be for an interesting game. I think Derrick Henry, I think he will still be able to get over 100 rushing yards, and it seemed like after that first week in the season, excuse me, after that first week in the season, he didn't, he scored. He's been scoring like every game, multiple times in some of those games. So if you got Derrick Henry, big ups for him because he's been doing his thing just like Saquon Barkley has. So let's just dive into some of the players that I will be cautious for this week coming up. So when I look at the lineups, I know that AJ Brown, he's questionable for right now. Be careful. There is a Thursday game. Excuse me, not Thursday. It's a 425 game. And, hamstring injury, just be careful. Definitely be careful because we were excited when he came back. He had a monster game, came into the second game from his injury, and guess what? He was out again. So definitely be careful. Also, keep in mind that a lot of receivers are getting hurt and not running backs. So the receivers, you just got to throw up a prayer when it comes to putting them in your lineups. DeAndre Hopkins, the guy is beasting right now. But bear in mind, DeAndre Hopkins has had injury issues as well. Tyreek Hill, They are projecting him to get over 20 points in the game coming up this week. I haven't really seen much from Tyreek. I'm glad Tua Tagovailoa is back. However, Tyreek hasn't been that guy that's been busting off these huge touchdown catches. He hasn't been doing it. I mean, the man I think he only has one touchdown in the season. So definitely be careful with Tyreek. He can have a great game, but he can also bust as well, even with his quarterback being back. You want to just be extra cautious when it comes to it. I got my phone here. I got my other phone just because I want to keep up with everything since I don't have the computer screen up. So like I said, man, I do this on the fly. I don't have the flashy pictures and the breakdown and everything because I really don't have time for it. As a working man, that this is not my career. I just like talking sports. As you can see, my wife, she made this shirt for me, and I know I might be looking off of the camera screen or whatnot, but just bear with me. She made this shirt for me, so I'm really happy for the shirt. I love it. We will be opening up merch eventually in the future, but anyways, let's keep it moving. Keon Coleman for the Bills. He had several good games when Amari Cooper was in. As you can tell, when Amari Cooper's not in, Keon Coleman has been a non-factor because teams can play up on him. So it's the guys like Khalil Shakur and Marquise Hollins that are getting extra play and getting the ball thrown their way. Keon Coleman, I do have him in my lineup. However, he will remain on my bench until I can see consistent games with him, with or without Amari Cooper. So they got a pretty good matchup this week going against the Colts. Again, if you have to play them, play them. But if you have someone that you think you can get more production from, play them instead. Just a couple more games to talk about. Then we're going to just end this video because I'm ready to relax and maybe go to bed early tonight. But Quentin Johnston, a little bit of a tough matchup when it comes to the secondary going against the Titans. You might want to plug him into your lineup because he's been, he's kind of like boom or bust. But it seemed like Herbert has been getting the ball a lot more, and we like to see that because we want to see our number one or number two receivers. We want to see them get the ball thrown to them at least 5 or 6 times, maybe even 7 times in a game. I mean, these quarterbacks are passing 30, 40, sometimes even 50 times in a game. Why not spread the love and make sure you hit your number one and number two receivers? Because they really don't have anything else after that. I mean, Joshua Palmer, he's a boom or bust, and you never know what you're going to get with him on a weekly basis. Excuse me. I mean, you definitely got to start Amon-Ra St. Brown. This guy can get you, he's going to get a touchdown at least. I'm going to tell you that. He's going to definitely get a touchdown. But the player on the other side to keep in mind is Tank Dell. With Stephon Diggs being out with the MCL or ACL injury, Tank Dell has been picking it up. And I think that even with Nico Collins coming back, is CJ Stroud's got to throw to one of those two guys. And I believe that he's going to continue doing it. But week 10 is here. I'm going to wrap this up, guys. Listen, if this is your first time on the channel, I appreciate you being here. But go ahead and do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. I love fantasy sports, and I love talking about basketball, football, and baseball. And, I just love it. I just love the game, man. And it makes it even better when you have fantasy sports. You got DraftKings and FanDuel, and you got all those other gambling platforms on there to enjoy and have fun with. So, hey, like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Post in the comment section what you think. Who is going to be the boom for this week? Who's going to be the bust? And, you never know. The projections, the predictions, they're not always right. So like and subscribe. Talk to you later. Have a great one. Walt out.